Civil War bullet technology caused limb-shredding injuries that previous bayonet weaponry could not. As a result, doctors encountered increasing number of injuries requiring amputation. Early prosthetic limbs were neither functional nor comfortable. Amputees resorted to crutches in search of clinical normalcy. As the Civil War ended, government funding encouraged doctors, civilians, and amputees to work together, exploring ways to improve quality of life. Prostheses with long-term comfort and greater functional normalcy were invented. Over the next 70 years, amputations increased due to war, work injuries, and accidents. Social attitudes and economic changes decreased government and scientific funding to improve prosthetic technologies. World War II combat advancements again created a greater number of amputees, demanding functional normalcy. Amputees exchanged ideas and experiences with prosthetic technicians to find viable solutions to improve quality of life. They paved the way for today's bionic prosthetic technology. Dr. Robert Galey, a physical therapy professor at University of Miami School of Medicine, notes that 70,000 Civil War soldiers lost limbs between 1861 and 1865. This Civil War mini ball bullet shredded flesh as it propelled through the body, often requiring amputations. Bayonet injuries paled in comparison. Existing medical technology was insufficient for doctors to perform precise amputations in the field. Confronted with the sheer number of amputees returning from the Civil War, the government acknowledged the lack of services available to amputees. The government established a Great Civil War benefaction program charged with providing every amputee with a prosthetic limb. Entrepreneurs and inventors competed for funding to explore prosthetic technologies. As improvements were made, amputees then exchanged their ideas and experiences with each other and prosthetists to develop quality-of-life prostheses. Simultaneously, the Industrial Revolution was underway. The medical and scientific community again encountered an increasing number of amputees. Demands for functional normalcy in turn fueled ongoing exploration and exchange in search for useful prostheses.
And then I just try to find what works for me, because they make all sorts of stuff.
Early prostheses gave amputees an option that was better than nothing, or clinical normalcy. As amputees and their doctors exchanged ideas, prostheses allowed increasing quality of life, or functional normalcy. In 1846, Benjamin Franklin Palmer obtained the first United States patent for the artificial leg. Palmer explored new ways to modify the artificial leg using springs to give it a lifelike elasticity and firmness to the step. After losing his own leg during the Civil War, James Edward Hanger joined this competitive market with personal and entrepreneurial motivations. Hanger created a prosthesis with a jointed knee. It used small hooks connected to shoulder suspenders to prevent detachment. Following his invention, Hanger started his own company, Hanger Incorporated. The jointed knee in Hanger's prostheses improved quality of life, giving amputees a more appealing alternative to crutches. Exploration and exchange did not stop there. George E. Marks further improved on the artificial limb for the purpose of relieving and helping the maimed and deformed. He added an adjustable interweaving lace-up strap to attach the prostheses to the residual limb, making it more comfortable and convenient for the wearer. The A.A. Marks Company marketed it through their 1905 Manual of Artificial Limbs, a part textbook, part mail order catalog that became the first to sell prostheses by mail and fit them in person. The nation again encountered an increasing number of amputees during World War I. Amputees again demanded quality of life options, leading to additional exploration and exchange within the prostheses community. To help meet this demand, the U.S. government established the Artificial Limb Manufacturers and Brace Association to meet the prosthetic needs of returning soldiers. However, as America entered the Great Depression, exploration and exchange in prosthetic technology lagged due to lack of investment capital. In 1942, World War II produced another round of war amputees. Amputees still demanded functional prostheses. After the government encountered World War II amputees demanding a better quality of life, the government commissioned the help of Army Surgeon General Norman T. Kirk. Kirk recruited the National Academy of Sciences, who created a committee to research how to make improvements on upper and lower limb prostheses. Kirk's commission led to an exchange of information between doctors, patients, and technicians that led to a greater quality of life. 6 different versions of prosthetic technology were developed to meet the needs of patients' lifestyle. Options included no prosthesis, passive, body-powered, electric, hybrid, and activity-specific. Prosthetic development has become a vital industry in the 21st century. War, accidents, and birth defects create a continued demand for advancement beyond a consideration for easing a disability. A daily functional prosthetic looks different for each patient. Amputee Daniel Jensen is internationally known as an extreme runner. Daniel lost his right leg to a landmine in Vietnam. As he met great difficulty with his traditional heavy prosthesis, Daniel met with a prosthetic technician to explore ways to fix the limitations. This exchange produced an improved prosthesis. His technician challenged him to test it with a run around the block, and he never stopped running. He has competed in the Badwater 135 in Death Valley, numerous ultramarathons, and triple and deca triathlons. To achieve maximum performance in each race, he has explored numerous means of prosthetic enhancement using different materials, treads, internal supports, and shoes. Daniel has become an expert in his own prostheses as he meets new needs and exchanges ideas with his technicians. Accidental amputation no longer limits Kate Jorgensen, a young teen who lost her arm in a farming accident. Kate's recovery is a collaborative effort requiring regular contact with her medical team in order to reach her goal of functional normalcy.
They all work together when we're up there. In fact, when they were first trying to find Kate's sites, after that surgery, they called Dr. Carlson.
Today, Kate is fitted with a custom bionic arm that restores many elements of functional normalcy. Advanced Arm Dynamics, the manufacturers of Kate's bionic arm, customize her arm based on her needs.
They always ask their patients, what is it that you want to do?
For her prosthesis to be effective, she underwent targeted muscle reinnervation, or TMR. Her doctors located and reconnected nerves so Kate's bionic arm could perform everyday activities such as tying a shoe, packing a bag, or carrying a box. Functional normalcy is not possible if a prosthetic limb is not comfortable.
Because if it isn't useful, it isn't going to get used.
Right. Exactly.
According to Patrick Pree, prosthetist at Advanced Arm Dynamics, in order to achieve functional normalcy for each patient,
we need to meet together as a team, to work together as a team, and then brainstorm back and forth between disciplines.
Amputees like Olympic snowboarder Amy Purdy are often discouraged by their initial prostheses. Health magazine states in an interview with Amy, frustrated by her first pair of clunky prosthetics, Amy helped design new legs that let her follow her dreams. Thanks to prosthetic advancement, amputee veterans are also able to return to functional normalcy. Army Lieutenant Joshua Pitcher returned to paratrooper duty in Afghanistan after losing his left foot on a previous deployment. Others, including Chad Jukes, have climbed Mount Lobuche, Mount Everest, and Mount Kilimanjaro. He said, "I have one leg, but I can climb Mount Everest." In order to meet their goals of functional normalcy, amputees continue to explore means of improving their prostheses. Exchanging these ideas with their medical team not only improves their lives, but advances the industry to aid new amputees. The history of amputations is literally the history of man. Our struggles against a harsh environment, our tragic conflicts, one against another, the mystery of ill-formed limbs at birth, all make up the skein of man's most obvious crippling deformity, limb loss. No less historically significant is the saga of limb substitutes. Only the hope of human limb transplantation can be looked upon as a more effective rehabilitation. The world has encountered ever greater numbers of amputees due to war, accidents, and birth defects, creating the need for prostheses. Seeking functional normalcy without pain, amputees and experts explored ways to improve quality of life and develop prostheses that offered both long-term comfort and greater functional normalcy. Presented with prosthetic limitations, amputees refused to settle on clinical normalcy. Instead, they exchanged ideas and experiences with prosthetic technicians to find viable solutions for functional normalcy, paving the way for today's bionic prosthetic technology. With these new advancements, prostheses are no longer considered a limitation to the life goals of an amputee.